Jacob's creations, heart and soul, turning resin into gold, crafting wonders, work of art, a vision born from your own heart.
Hey guys, so I just wanted to do this little bit here before we get into my project. I wanted to do a shout out to Wendy over at Toonfish Crafts, also Marva over at Marvelous Artsy. They both did a project recently that was kind of my inspiration for doing this. A special huge shout out to Marva. Thank you very much for all of the advice and guidance along the way with this project. It was really greatly appreciated and extremely helpful. So yeah, and hope you guys enjoy the video. Let me know what you think, and let's get to it. Hello everybody. So you're kind of catching me in the middle of this one. This is for my big project that I've been talking about. So I gotta kind of work fast because I'm in the middle of working with resin that has been made up for a little bit already. So my plan right now is I'm going to pour these 3 trays with clear, and then I have my colors in piping bags, and I'm going to inject the colors in with that. So without further ado, let's get going. So I want to pour these and make sure that there's enough room for me to get my colors in. I also forgot to do that. So I don't know if I need more resin for all these. I'm hoping I don't. So I'm just going to start with, I'm going to need more. Crap. That's unfortunate. Okay, so for the small one here, I'm gonna make sure I grab the right ones. So what I need to do with these is I need to keep an eye on them because I am going to be taking them out, and I want to make them into not necessarily an entire bowl like deep, but I just want them shallow like this. So this is the one that I tried the other day. And it didn't work out. As you can see here, this was the biggest problem with it, and then the cracking. So I just kind of want it shallow like that. So the biggest issue I had with this was I used my heating mat to try curing it, and then like this part right here, literally just this edge right here, it didn't cure enough for it to be taken out of the mold, and I did it anyways, even though I knew I shouldn't have. So when I tried putting it into a round part with something in there to hold it, this kind of happened. And I can't use this for what I'm doing, so I'm trying this again. And for the sake of doing this the right way, so to speak, so it turns out this time, I went out the other day to my local Family Dollar and I bought two different bowl sets. So I got this one that's just like straight cereal bowls, kind of. So this is my backup. I also found this one. They're a little deep, but like I said, I'm not looking for them to go all the way down in this. I'm just trying to get that light dip in there. So I decided to try these ones out because there's the different sizes. So I thought it might work better for the different size molds. So that is my plan with what I want to do with these. I'm hoping that one or both of those options might work out. And then I have them for if I ever want to do anything like this again with turning a tray into a bowl. Alright. So I'm going to put some fresh alcohol in here because it's probably all dried. And then I made up an additional 7 ounces of resin because this one's bigger. There we have it. So far this is doing exactly kind of what I want it to do. This is sort of like doing the bloom effect, so I'll kind of turn my camera here so you can see what's going on with the pink and the coral green. That's kind of what I'm going for. And then the reason why I said I'm in the middle of this project is I, the other day, went through and made up a bunch of spheres, and I think one just fell on the floor somewhere, with the same kind of color schemes. So I did like the yellow, orange, and then I did the coral green, and then the blue and pink for all these. I did another one, I think this one was a red and purple. But I only had 3 trays, so I decided to go with those ones for the color. Not really going to say yet what I'm doing with this, but that is what I have made for this so far. I didn't record doing the spheres because it took me about 4 hours. Well, it took me longer than that to do these, and I didn't want to bore you guys with all of that. Plus, by the time I'm done putting all this together, if I recorded from the beginning to end with the spheres and everything, it'll be like a 5-hour video. So I just wanted to show you guys how I did all of this so far. I will be back when these are done enough for me to try and put into the bowl. I will should go over that with you guys together. And then after that, it'll be when my order from Amazon comes in. And that will be the reveal on where I'm going with this. So I will see you guys in a little while. Alrighty. So I am back, and I don't know if I'm doing this too early or not. It seems like it's good enough to come out of the mold. Seems being the key word. So there we have it. As you can see, it's extremely bendy and flimsy. So, oh, that's actually perfect for this one. That is precisely what I'm looking for. Well, the only question at this point is, which side do I want up? I kind of want that one up, so I'm going to flip it. So because of how flimsy these still are, I'm not going to worry about putting something in it to weigh it down. But that is right there precisely what I'm looking for the shape of this to be. So I don't know if that's going to work for the bigger ones. My yellow and orange one isn't quite ready yet, because I poured that one relatively after, but I think I can get my medium-sized one out. Yeah, this one will come out. Just gotta be careful. Okay. So I'm not sure if this is going to work for this one. This we'll just have to see, because I don't want it super deep. So that's deeper than I want this to be. So let's see how it goes on the shallow one, or the bigger bowl. That'll work. It's still a smidge deeper than I want. I guess I'm gonna have to do this one. So this one's gonna be a little bit deeper than I was hoping for, but it'll work. So this one, I might be able to get it out. Yeah, it'll come out. So this one, I think my color sat too long because this one didn't, the colors didn't spread out like the rest of them did, which I was kind of disappointed with. I should have known better than to try and do all three of these at the same time. But I have been planning and working on this particular project for a long while now, and I'm starting to get impatient with completing it. So then, let's see if this one. I'll go with this pool. Oh yeah, that'll be perfect. So I'm not looking for these to be super deep. I just kind of want a little bit of a lip on them. Excuse me. Alright. I also just realized I forgot I wanted this side. I don't know if it's too late. Yeah, it should be alright. I forgot to flip this one. And there we have it. So these should be done curing tomorrow, and I'll be able to get them out of the bowls. And then the rest of the pieces I need for this will be in on Wednesday. And then I am working on figuring out when I'm going to be able to work on the assembly of everything and get this all put together. So yeah, I will be back when I got all that figured out and it's time to finish this piece, and I will see you guys then. Hello guys, I am back. So these bowl pieces actually turned out phenomenal. Um, this one was a little interesting. This is the one I ended up putting in backwards, and it ended up with kind of a cool effect on here. I'm not really going to worry about it for this project, but it kind of looks like veiny, wrinkly. I don't know, it was weird. But overall, they turned out alright. So, what I am doing now is I have the bigger geode style tray, and I'm going to attempt to pour that for the base. I'm going to use the big bowl and hope that this is deep enough to kind of house the bottom of my thing here. So I have mixed up a total of 1,000 millimeters of resin. Just because if I remember correctly, it takes almost that to fill this mold. So, for this one, I'm going to do the clear, and because I didn't use it for the other pieces, I decided to go ahead and go with the purple and red mix combination that I did in my spheres. So I'm going to go ahead and get this poured in. And then, oh no, stray hair. There you go. I did go through and clear this out with some tape, because there was still some bits left over from when I did my 4th of July tray. And I tried getting all that out the best I could. I think I spent probably about 30 minutes with a piece of tape trying to get all of it out after I did that. So yeah. So outside of the resin that I used in the colors, there was 450 milliliters left in this, and that just did a thin layer. So hopefully I don't have a lot left over. I do want to leave a smidge of an amount so that I can add in my colors. However, like I said, I did go through and try and completely level out this table, because the last few times I've poured this, it's been a little wonky. So hopefully that won't be an issue this time. Okay. Yeah, screw it. We'll go ahead and just add it all in. And I didn't have enough of my bond crafter left. That's not going to be in until tomorrow. So I did finally break into my bottles of Tea Expert that I've had sitting around. So this is the Tea Expert epoxy resin, in case anyone is curious. Alrighty, I think we're good there. So I'm going to start with my purple. And I'm hoping that this one works better than my yellow one did. I think that'll be good. Alrighty, so I will leave this to sit and then just keep an eye on it and get it out when it is ready. Okay, so I just went over my assembly of my project here, and the way I'm going to do it, I need something to go from essentially the bottom of my base bowl to the top of this. So I'm thinking of using either one of these two pieces. These are essentially like bowls or jars, and I'm going to use those to kind of hold this. So, for my colors on this one, I want to stick to my neon, but I'm kind of getting tired of using my same combinations. So for this one, I decided to go with my orangish red and my deep pink for my colors. And I'm not sure how it's going to work out doing it with these jars. So, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get both of these poured. Hopefully I have enough resin for them. I am going to do this in layers, though, with the coloring. There's probably going to be a lot of bubbles in this one. I should have sprayed this with alcohol. So I'm going to start with my deep pink. And I'm just going to kind of get this in here. Did I put too much in this? Ooh. Oh no, my scissors! Alright. I'm not going to see this part, but at this point, I just kind of want to see what happens with these colors. Although I do have some extra here, so I'm probably going to go ahead and pour a geode tray with it as well, just to see how it turns out. So I'm going to go ahead and carefully move those. Yep. So we'll see what happens with that. It got a little warm, so I don't know if it's gonna do its thing and pull in like it should or has, but we'll see. This one's not really for anything. I was just trying to use up some resin anyway, so yeah, I will be back when all of this stuff is done. And this is gonna be kind of a spotty video because I'm kind of trying to piece this project together without actually being able to piece the project together. So I'm kind of trying to figure it out as I go along. So I apologize for that, but I promise when this is done, it will have been worth it. So yeah, like I said, I'll see you guys back in a little while. Alright. Hey guys. So I went ahead and got my mystery project all assembled here. I was going to record my putting it all together, but it ended up being more of a process than I figured it was going to be. So I ended up assembling all of it off camera. Basically, I'll kind of explain what I did as I go along. But without further ado, here is my mystery project that I've been working on. I made a water fountain entirely of resin. So I went through and I made a bunch of spheres, and all I did was at all of the joints between the trays and the spheres is I was very patient and used UV resin. The first time I turned it on, I realized that there was a problem with the water flow. It was kind of splashing and spraying everywhere. Because originally what I wanted to do was just have it overflow from the trays down. But it wasn't quite working according to plan. So what I then did was I went through with a drill bit and just drilled a bunch of holes that I'm probably going to have to either make a little bit bigger or adjust here, because it's like the water doesn't want to flow through them properly. And then for the bottom one, instead of doing straight holes, I did lines, because I tried doing this tray so that this one would overlap into this, but they ended up being not much bigger than the other. So basically the assembly of this is for my very bottom piece. I use this mold of one of the jars that I have. Then I did my large geo tray mold. Then I made up this jar mold piece, and I kind of cut like U shapes into it so that the water would go through, and then I drilled holes in the top so the air would come out and the water would go inside of it. And then I used my 3-tier, this was actually like a cupcake tray mold, like the 3-tier stackable one. So I used those for each of my 3 levels. And then I did my spheres. And that is how this came out. Like I said, I'd still have to adjust the holes a little bit more, because I don't like how they're kind of janky there. It seems like when I poke something through it, they work a little bit better, but then it kind of starts doing it again. And there is enough water flow that I shouldn't have any issues with that, so probably go through and adjust that. But yeah, overall, that is how this piece turned out. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Feel free to like and share. If you haven't subscribed already, please do. That is all for now. I will see you guys back for the next project. In the meantime, remember, stay creative, everyone. Bye.